Every night.
I'll try to freak you out.
No, this will be me freaking out.
I was gonna do that, but then I felt like it was too all of a sudden. You're like,
my eyes hurt from
dude, it's from doing it. I'm telling you, bro.
I don't know how you do it so good though.
It's because I practiced. I literally, as I was working, I kept practicing. I'd be like, and I kept looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, oh my god,
it's the scariest thing.
Jesus.
I showed my coworker Devin. I showed him.
What? You showed him the photo?
No, I showed him. I was like, can you move your eyes without your eyebrows? And he was like he did it so good.
Where it's too good? Where he like popped them?
Yeah, and I was like, Devin. I literally fell out of my chair and I was like, yeah.
Well, welcome to Mary and Norm's podcast. Episode 2.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about a few little stories. We just love telling stories, guys. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that... Okay, so I was born in December.
Yeah.
My name is Mary Beth, and I had a whole conspiracy. Okay? I actually had two, which is... I just remembered the other one. And because my name was Mary Beth, and then people would call me Mary,
with no space.
I was born... with no space.
Because that's always a thing.
That's always a thing. But because I was born in December and, like I think of Jesus being born, everyone's celebrating the nativity scene, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought I was the next Virgin Mary and I was bringing the second coming of Jesus into the world. But this wasn't like...
I remember it too.
Yeah, this wasn't like...
I remember it being a theme.
This wasn't me being like, oh, maybe. This was like years in the making.
Because it's like, what's the coincidence that your name...
My name
is Mary.
And so I swore up and down that I was going to have the second coming of Jesus and that I was pregnant. I really thought I was pregnant for years. And then after, I was like 12 and nothing came out, I said, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I also
when puberty hit, you were probably like, oh, now definitely not.
I also moved that conspiracy and put it on my uncle.
Wait, whoa.
Peter. I thought he was pregnant.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that's our uncle.
You know why though? Because of that movie with Danny DeVito
I wasn't gonna say
Arnold
that.
Schwarzenegger.
I don't even know what movie that is. I thought you were gonna say because of literally because it
because he had a belly.
But it's not just you know how some people, I mean even like myself, you got a belly and it's kind of slumped a little bit, but his was one of those people where they have it round as hell, it's literally like a ball, like a big ball. Which was crazy. I didn't even know how that makes sense. How come mine's not like that? I guess it's good because then it would look weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's why. It's because it was like that. And
because of that movie. The movie with Danny DeVito and
is.
Arnold Schwarzenegger where they have a baby. They're pregnant.
I don't remember that. I don't know that movie. I might not have seen it. Unless it was
because
when
of
we were
that
kids.
Movie,
And then,
I thought that men could get pregnant and have babies.
Okay.
And... So I thought he was pregnant, and I would constantly, every reunion thing or whatever, I would be like, oh, I can't wait to see him. And I was so serious.
Yeah.
Years would go by and I was like, is it a boy or girl?
You would go up to him and be like, and put your head on the belly I felt a kick.
How you know you're in there?
Yeah, I can feel it.
So I swore that he was really pregnant in my head.
Yo, you were serious about it? For real?
I was just waiting for him to give birth. Never happened, obviously, because he wasn't pregnant for real, and it took me years to figure that out as well. But we had a weird
there's just a lot of
thing
weird
with pregnancies.
things.
No,
with
baby. Giving birth and stuff.
Yeah, no, but look, I even remember because when you say you always thought you were Virgin Mary, I just remember all the time, which I know what you're talking about, and we would all do it all the time where we would take all the blankets or the pillows and we would stuff them up our shirt like just to be like, I'm pregnant, and we would just go, but we would just run around. But it wasn't just like one time, like we would do it all the time. Because I was just like, oh my god, look, and my shirt would be like stretched out like crazy.
You remember there was an anatomy book that
oh, never mind. You know what I'm talking about though, right? The green pants. We would take these pants, and because we were so little, Mary had these stretchy pants. Like,
they could stretch crazy. Over my head and over my shoulders.
Yeah. So we would literally be standing in these pants, and we would have to take turns, because I remember I'd be like, I want to go take off the pants. And we would go in these pants and put it all the way over our head. And then I think you got like a VIA or something, like a little hair tie.
I got a hair tie.
And would tie it. Like we would tie it real tight.
The thing is,
to where we would be like stuck, and all you see is the legs.
And they were like these neonish green, like they look like Tinkerbell,
color.
like Tinkerbell green.
That's perfect. Hey, dude, can you imagine if we were on TikTok back then? Like as crazy kids, honestly, the stuff we would do was nuts.
Jeez,
and like having babies. We gave birth. There's actually, we don't have the tape. We don't have the tape, but there's a VHS tape.
Okay,
at my mom's house.
We had like this playhouse tent, and it was so cool. Like they don't have those anymore.
Bro, we can actually put a picture up. We'll put a picture up now.
We have a picture.
There's a picture with my dad.
It was like this
Linda,
really dope
Thomas.
tent.
Are we all in it?
Yeah, I think it was Linda, Thomas, you, and Dad, and me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm holding the scissors. You'll see it. Or you do see it.
But yeah, so we had these cool tents that they don't make today. Sucks.
Surprisingly.
But
because it's like easy. Right?
I don't, it's like you could build it. It was, but anyways, it just it wasn't as popular, but it was really, really cool tent. And I had to give birth. Linda, my older sister, I hated it, but looking back, it's kind of funny to talk about. She liked
doing it though.
Linda would be the like woman, the female doctor, like a gynecologist or whatever, that's delivering the baby. I was the one giving birth to the baby. You were the father, which is weird. Okay. Yeah. And then Thomas was the doctor. Okay.
Who was filming though? Because it was with the handicap. No, he wasn't there for it, because then he saw it later and was like, what the heck? It was always like that, where they would see it later and be like,
because as a doctor, he didn't have to. He just had to deliver news.
Yeah.
But
he loved being the cameraman. At least I remember him always being the one holding the camera.
But I was forced to give birth to a sailboat, to that pair of scissors that you're holding in the photo.
I got it.
To all these baby dolls, because Linda loved baby dolls. Oh my gosh.
She's always been like a natural mother, you know?
Yeah, she's had that motherly instinct from the start. She
really is, though.
But she forced me to have the kids. Isn't that kind of weird?
I think she wants to be to experience it with you.
Yeah.
She wants to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
But the thing is that it wasn't enough. Me just giving birth to these kids, quote unquote, just baby dolls, sailboat, a remote control car, like literally anything and everything that we had, I gave birth to. But my sister, shout out to you, Linda, forced me to do the whole thing, like the he hoo
oh my god
hoo. And if I wasn't acting well, she'd say start over. She would be like, start over, you're not doing a good job, we have to give birth to this baby.
It's not coming out.
Like I had to give on a full production of having contractions, like the breathing,
Linda's
exercises,
there timing with
and
the stopwatch.
everything.
She's like, Mary, it's not realistic.
You're not at 3
minutes, 2 minutes
and her
yet.
being like, it's 5 centimeters dilated. Like, I was like 7.
I was gonna say, I don't think I said that, because I don't even know what the hell that was.
No, that was Linda.
Oh, it was Linda. Oh yeah, she would have known.
From the other side of the freaking savannah, because
did she put
a savannah in between, so I couldn't even see.
Oh, like the cover around your legs, so that we couldn't see.
And they would put a pillow under my butt.
Oh my!
And then the case comes out under my butt. The toy, and sometimes it would get stuck in my actual butt, and I was like, ow, because it was part of the
god. I don't know how to feel about this yet.
It's like attraction.
Yeah,
it was so weird. Looking back, what in the heck? But we had this obsession with pregnancies. Like we would watch the The pregnancy show where they're giving birth.
I don't remember that.
Unplanned pregnancy and stuff.
Oh, I mean, there's always those shows were like super popular.
But we watched it and we were so fascinated with seeing the babies come out.
Oh, okay, that I don't know.
Okay.
You're saying where they actually like had the baby?
Them giving birth to the baby coming out of their bodies physically. Me and Linda were really fascinated with it.
I remember watching VHS tapes of, wasn't it Mom's? Because it exists.
Oh yeah, because we have you on film when you came out as a baby and you're like,
yeah, exactly like that.
Exactly like that. But my mom got us, and I don't know why, but I think she found it at Goodwill as this human anatomy book. And it came with a CD.
Oh my god! Like with procedures, right?
With the CD,
I do vaguely remember
videos.
That. Where it had it was like a doctor's thing, so you could see examples of these certain procedures.
Yeah, right? One of the videos was childbirth. Imagine the four of us in front of the computer watching the childbirth video, just reversing it, fast forwarding, reversing it, fast forwarding, trying to see where the baby came out of.
Yeah.
Because we were like, could it be the butthole? Could it be the belly button? We don't know. So we're just seeing. I remember the four of us were sitting there. I always thought
people always think the butt. Yeah.
Yeah, the four of us were sitting there and we were just watching this video, just reversing and fast forwarding, and seeing the baby go in and out, And we still didn't know. Like, even after that, we still didn't know. We were like, oh, give up. Like, I have no idea.
They're not showing it.
I think it's the butt. Like, we just didn't know.
Wow. Like,
but why did Mom get us that? Because we were so young.
The video thing? I don't think she meant it. Did she meant to give that to
It
us?
was an anatomy book from Goodwill. Like, we weren't...
That's probably why. It was just like, oh, there's a CD in it. Hey, watch. There's some surgeries or something in here. Like, watch that.
You remember watching Dad's surgeries?
I remember watching that for his knee surgeries. Because our dad has like, I mean, literally like 15 surgeries.
15? 15?
I feel like it, right? Because
he hit 15,
He has tons of them on his shoulder, on his hands, on his knees, on his thigh. And ankle, that's a newer one. Shoulders. Yeah, I said the shoulders. And then maybe everywhere. On his back. Like, but he's waiting for it.
Yeah.
So
but
that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing. But they would give him the actual film of his surgeries,
cool.
And we would just watch it and be like,
yo, like you could see inside because it was meniscus tears. Mm-hmm. So they would show like this little like thing going inside, and then like these little like scissors, like these. It was like so small, and it didn't look like a knee. It kind of looked like a throat or like
something like that,
something like that type of thing. But it was literally like it was just like a tube, and it would go. And I'm sure you can just Google like like a meniscus tear video, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it was really fascinating, and we were we had this obsession with childbirth and like
or anything.
Things being procreated.
I think like, acting too, because when you think about it, like it's not just doing all that stuff. Like we really just loved acting.
That's true.
Like, because we would just always play out stuff like skits, and we still do now.
Yeah, so. we would put on like these performances for my parents, like a talent show, and then
we would prep for it.
Yeah, we would prep for it. We had a whole set list, like okay, Mary and Linda are singing this song, and then Norman's gonna play the piano or whatever it was. Like we had a whole set list. We had dances, and we would have our own talent shows for my parents.
No, there's videos of you guys doing dancing, like the walkway.
We even created an entire show. We had 2 shows that are recorded. One's on a VHS tape, the first show that we created, and then the second one is on this like Casio that I have upstairs.
The cassette.
And we designed, like we did a fake commercial. You remember the fake commercial with the perfume?
Oh man, that sounds familiar.
That was
you guys had like a pink bottle?
That was you and me. We did that commercial.
Oh my god.
It was so, and there was a song that was like,
remember that. Was it like a jewel bottle, like a pink, or kind of like it had
was
like
the J-Lo bottle.
That's why I remember. I'm like, I know it was really familiar.
Because it
like
had the necklace on it and it said J-Lo.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So we did a fake commercial for that.
But I remember that, like the perfume being a thing.
Yeah, and then we did. Oh, I know. I impersonated Elvis.
Elvis? Oh, okay. It's weird. I remember you guys doing some.
Yeah, we danced to Lizzie McGuire.
That was always since and then we had the movie, right? When they had the movies too. Didn't she have she had a frame? You remember that? Like that picture frame that was a Lizzie McGuire frame.
And I had the jewelry box.
Yeah, that would spin and it had the little like character in it. Oh my god. I love playing with that. I would always take it out all the time.
Yeah.
Like just to be like, because I don't know. I've always been interested in like technology stuff. And then for me, I mean, at the time we didn't like have much. And that was one thing that I remember. I was like, yo, this is the future. Like you open it and automatically it starts playing like after winding it up. Because then you could close it. And if you open it, as long as it was still winded up, like it would pause. And then it would keep going. And I remember I would just be like,
it was really cool.
And it would keep going.
It was really cool.
It was super cool. That shit was like next level at the time.
But yeah, we were like obsessed. We at one point, because we were obsessed with like birth in general and things like being born.
Just understanding how it all works.
Understanding like how are things born. And we came up with this conspiracy. We thought, because I had seen, I think because we watched a ton of Animal Planet. That was all we watched pretty much. Steve Irwin. He's like a second dad to me.
His movie, bro.
Oh gosh, my God. I have it.
Yeah,
I still have it on DVD.
Was it? It was on DVD originally. Yeah, dude, that movie, and it's on YouTube. I think the whole thing is. But oh my God, that movie was like. I mean, I haven't watched it in so long, and I don't know when you watched the last, but that hit. Like back then, I remember it hit was so cool, and seeing Steve Irwin, who was like this guy, who would just do like like the whole like Animal Planet like documentary style like thing, and it's just cool to see him like acting, right, like where it's like a movie but he's also doing his thing. It was so cool. I loved it.
No, I loved it. But like we saw I think birds being incubated, like the eggs, and then in our minds we thought we can do that with any egg and then we'll get a chicken
as long as you keep it warm.
And it was always in my mind, I was like, how can I get a pet? Like I had to set free the critters,
Yeah.
How can I get a pet? So in my mind I was like, we can get these eggs from the fridge. We just have to keep them in warm water in a bucket
or
for
something.
A few hours or something.
Thinking if it was warm, it would have to be warm.
warm water, and then they'll be born. And I was thinking in like a week tops.
Yeah, because we didn't have Google back then. Like we couldn't just.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Like we didn't have access to it at least. But I remember, we couldn't just look stuff up. So we would be like, we would see something on TV, where just like you said, where you see like eggs being like incubated. Oh, it has to be warm, and we would just, that was our way of being like, well, we can experiment.
Yeah, we can
do something similar. Right, where it's warm.
I remember taking the flashlight up to the egg and being like, it's
checking.
in there.
And we would check like every day to see if it was growing.
But that lasted about a few days.
Yeah. And then it was longer than that, I feel like.
Really?
Maybe a few. I feel like it was because at the point where it started smelling.
No, but we forgot about it.
Okay,
there was one point because we were checking up on it consistently. We were like, okay, it's going to be born soon. Like these chicks are going to hatch. But then both of us completely went over our head.
Little kids.
We forgot about it.
Now as it is.
And like 6 months had passed.
Damn, that long.
Then because we put it in mom and dad's bathroom under the sink. Okay. And we were rarely in mom and dad's bathroom. Like the bathroom where a lot of things happen was always the mainly in the living room.
Yeah.
One. So
even mom and dad wouldn't even use theirs.
Like the bidet situation, that was in their bathroom because that was the one that had the bidet.
Yeah.
But rarely did
they had that little vanity for so long. Like that was when our parents like tried to remodel the bathroom, and like it's one of those things. I don't know. I'm sure there's so many people I've talked to that like have the same situation, but literally they tried to remodel their bathroom and they got like halfway there and then they just stopped. I think a thing happened with the contractor.
They left. They ditched the job.
Yeah, they ditched the job.
Took the money
and ran. And they never got it fully done. So it was always just a thing where I remember like just the vanity part was there, I think, and it was like the old one was still there. So that would make sense.
We had that bucket with eggs in it, and then one day my mom opens the vanity like months later. We had completely forgotten about it, and she's like, ¿Qué es esto?
Junior!
What is this? Junior! Oh my gosh! And I'm sure it looked really bad.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know what happens to eggs when you leave them for so long, but in like water, like stale water. But I mean, I imagine it was because I remember there being a smell, like that weird musk, like from it. But especially after that long, then. Ooh.
Or bad.
Our minds, huh?
Or bad. You remember when we had a dog for a day?
Oh my God. Yeah, there was this dog that like
we basically stole.
He literally did steal. So like basically what happened, if I remember correctly, was that like this dog just pulled up when we came home from school. Like we walked home from the bus and we came up to the house and this like, it was like a little like boxer dog.
I named him Stitch.
Yeah. And he was just there, like literally
a black
just
boxer dog. He was so cute.
So cute, and was little, and like he just was like in front of our house, and we were really confused because I'm like, oh, this has got to be somebody's dog. And then, but it had no collar.
Nothing.
I remember there was no collar because we wanted to call. We told our parents we want to get it back to the person, but there was no collar. We were like, maybe we can keep it. But basically, what we did, because we had it, and then I remember we put it in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's not even our dog. We literally, because we were like petting it and stuff, and it kept following us like around the front. Yeah. It didn't like, it was just chilling with us.
I was thinking it was God.
Because I remember it like actually like it was just following. It wouldn't leave.
It was so
and we
friendly.
were sitting out there for a while, and we're like, okay, let's put it in the back, and we'll ask mom later.
Yeah.
Like to see. And this is pretty messed up. What do you think about it? Well, I know we gave it food. Like I think Dad was like, "Oh, let's give it something because it's just back there in the backyard."
Yeah. Because we locked it with the
pretty
fence.
messed up.
Because we had a fence. Yeah, we had like our whole backyard was fenced.
Yeah, like a big wooden fence,
so
completely closed to the floor. We put him in the back there, but he was chilling. But we were chilling with him the whole time.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And yeah, we had a good time.
We didn't neglect him.
Yeah, we didn't neglect him. We were playing with him because we really wanted a dog, especially Mary. That was her whole thing since she was a kid.
And I was like, it's a miracle.
Yeah, and it was such a nice little dog.
Yeah.
But when mom finally came home, I remember, I mean, first off, it's always the same like pattern where she's like, where's whose dog? Because I think she noticed the dog because we had like the blinds completely open. By the time she came home, and she opens the door and is like, oh, like whose dog is that? What are you guys doing with the dog? Because my mom, we're all allergic, like except for Mary and
my dad.
And my dad, or our dad. So literally, yeah, I mean, it was just really funny because of course she gets mad. And then we have to explain that we found the dog. It was just in the front. We were playing with it. It wouldn't leave. So we put it in the backyard until she came home. And she says no.
It's like, you can't have it.
Just straight up no. So we're like, she's like, you can play with it, and then say goodbye.
Because it's not our dog.
At the end, literally, I remember we just left it out. Yeah,
on a leash.
We left it,
and we tied it to
did we have it on a leash?
We had it on a leash.
Because I feel like we left it in the front.
We left it in the front, tied
did we put
to a
signs
leash.
Or no? Because I don't remember.
We didn't
I don't think
put a sign.
we did.
We had a post-it in the floor. It was like a wooden trump that was left. Yeah. And we just tied the leash around it. And then after a few hours, gone.
Oh, that's what it was.
The dog disappeared. So we figured the owners just took it back or it got stolen.
Yeah.
Could be either.
No idea.
But the leash was gone, so you know a human took it.
I don't know if it was a human. It wasn't a leash, though.
Was it a Solga?
We didn't have a leash.
Was it a Solga, bro?
Probably.
Dang.
That probably, because I remember Dad had that yellow. That
makes us look pretty bad.
That like thick, like yellow, but it was like thin, but it was like strong.
Yeah.
Like that yellow paracord, whatever stuff. I don't know what it was.
Dang.
But it was strong.
But they took it.
Yeah, it was gone. Somebody took it.
That was us having a dog.
Or a person.
I don't know. But we also, the tortoise, the pet tortoise.
Oh my God.
Why do we kidnap
we straight up did. Because we just wanted to keep it for ourselves.
But that was Dad though.
No, he was down for it though.
He was so down for it.
He would even go feed it like some lettuce and stuff. He would be cared.
He even took like, I remember he took the verja, like a wooden piece, and put it down so that it couldn't escape.
Oh.
Because it was making holes.
It was trying to leave.
And my dad was like,
It was trying to escape.
He's like, the tortoise is trying to escape. And I'm like, hold up. Like, you're really into this, Dad. Like, you really like this tortoise.
So I was trying to leave.
And he's like, we gotta put wood, like, so that way it doesn't keep digging, like, underneath and it doesn't escape.
Which, funny enough, it ended up digging under the patio, like, under the back patio. And it was like a big, I remember that thing, it actually got in there. It was quick.
In there.
So it made a home, and I remember we were excited.
Eventually it escaped.
We were excited. Yeah, it escaped. It literally got out the back. I remember we even saw like where the like belly of it like slid. Mm-hmm. But we were so excited when it made the home because we were like, oh my God, now it's going to stay here. Because now it like made a new home.
Yeah.
So it left.
But it left.
Like
and
everything,
I remember
even the little turtles. Where we found... Dang. We basically had these little turtles for a little bit.
We have a lot. We had a lot of pets.
Yeah, it was like, that's a whole thing in and of itself, bro.
We had,
It was a lot of betta fish. But,
so
you know what I'm about to say.
I'm not gonna say. No, because
look,
we had.
We had a beta fish.
We don't have the best reputation for pets in the family.
You gotta know. You gotta understand that, like, our family, like, we didn't really know a lot of. We didn't know a lot of stuff. And one of the things we like didn't know about is that, like, fish, I mean, you don't want to just put them anywhere
or take them out of the water.
Or take them out of the water. That's another thing. But I'm talking about, like, when my mom said it would be a good idea to put the betta fish on top of the microwave. Like, it was a nice little spot because our microwave was right by the window, right behind it.
Yeah,
the
and
light
we had
coming
a little,
in. It had some sunshine, a nice view, right?
Yeah,
like
really
a nice
good view, a really good
view. Bro, it was like a good Airbnb. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be like really high class. And yeah, so basically,
radiation.
We noticed, like, after, but it had been some time that, like, we were like, wait a second, is our fish pregnant? Because it started growing this belly, clear. Like, I still to this day don't know if it was like, because
it was a tumor.
Was it a tumor? No, because the thing was, it was clear as day, but it started growing huge. There was nothing in it, and it kept just growing and growing and growing and growing. And I remember we didn't move the fish. Like, we still, I was like, oh my god, no, I just remember something else.
That's the one I was thinking of first, but I'm letting you tell this story.
So I just remembered. So, like, we were so interested, and we kept thinking, you know, like I said, is it pregnant?
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, well, if it's pregnant, like, man, it's been a while. It's gigantic, that bubble.
It's about to bust.
It's about to bust, bro. So, like, we got to help it out. So we took it out. We took the fish out with this little net we had, and we put it down, like, in a bowl or something with, I think, like a shallow bit of water. It was just flopping. But, I mean, we didn't do nothing crazy. Basically, we were just poking at it, at the stomach. Because I really wanted to know. We wanted to know if something would come out. I was like, bro, maybe it's like, I guess, like a pimple, right? Like,
like a C-section.
It needs a C-section. You need to pop that sucker, bro. Like, so just press it till so it didn't pop, and we kept pressing it. It didn't pop. So we just threw it back in the water, back in the tank, and it kept swimming.
It kept swimming,
which is really impressive. Swimming for a long time. We had that thing for, like, bro.
After that,
how much time did we have it? No, after that,
we had that betta fish.
We had it for a little while
for like a good year, which was extremely surprising.
It was a long time for a betta fish.
I think Thomas,
that I know of. I don't know how long they're supposed to live.
My older brother was kind of attached to it, and he was researching. He was like, it has a tumor. If we take it to the vet, it's gonna be this much, and all this stuff. And we were like,
for a little betta fish.
I was like, a betta fish. But
it ain't no exotic.
Yeah. But it died. Like, shortly
one day
after
it just
that.
Slapped. Like, we woke up and it was just upside down.
Yeah, I know.
And we're like, oh man, you awake? Fishy.
Yeah.
Why were you sleeping? It was dead.
And then there was another betta fish that we had before that.
Okay.
Betta fish.
You gotta remind me on this one. You gotta help me out.
Oh, you're gonna remember.
Yeah.
So, we had it in this vase that was like for flowers that Mom put it in, and it was literally like this
Sounds
big.
Familiar.
And we had it. It was like this.
How big?
Why did I do it? Anyways, okay. We had it in the middle of the dining table or whatever, and there's little betta fish was in there. Uh-huh. And the tank was okay. We were really bad at maintaining pets. Like, terrible. No one wanted to do the dirty work. Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, like, I don't want to clean it. No one want to clean it, whatever.
And when you fed it, that's what made it dirty, which was like work. Because then we wouldn't want to feed it.
Because I would feed it, you would feed it, Mom would feed it. Yeah. We're all feeding
Mom
this thing.
Mom would forget, though.
She would forget, and then she would
forget a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
But okay, so it started smelling. The tank started smelling. Mm-hmm. This was winter time. I have to add.
Now I remember.
We have to add. It was winter time.
That's when you had the turtles, though.
No,
was it? Or that's another
way
winter?
After. That's another one.
That was another winter.
That was another winter. Yeah, that was another winter. Yeah, why was it winter?
It was winter. But, I don't know.
Yeah, so we had this porch, and my mom was like, "Ay, apeste, it smells, Junior."
Yeah.
So she tells my dad,
Junior's
she's
my
like,
dad's nickname, if you haven't
that's
caught
his
on.
nickname, because we have 3
For my
Thomases
mom, we don't
in the
call him
family.
Junior.
Yeah, we don't
Neither
call
do
him.
his
That's
siblings,
kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
or do they? I'm gonna go on the tangent.
No, they don't. We all call him Papa or Papi. That's like normal.
Yeah, for us.
yeah. But she's like, put it in the porch or whatever because it stinks and we'll clean it tomorrow.
Yep.
This was at like 8:00. I'll never forget because I was on the couch and I was like, I don't know. Bro. Make sure to. I told myself and took a mental note and I was like, once they go to sleep, I'm gonna put him back inside. Yeah. Because it's cold. Because
she was stubborn about it. She didn't want like
so I don't know why she was so adamant.
And not having it in the house.
So adamant.
Like she could have just like cleaned it and then put it back in the house, but she didn't. Like
she wanted to clean it the next day, and she was like, "Just leave it in the porch. I'll take care of it tomorrow." And I took a mental note, and I was sitting on the couch with my sister, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put it back inside once they fall asleep or go in the room, whatever." I forgot.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
Makes sense.
The next morning, I wake up and I'm thinking, "Oh no, my betta fish. Let me check him. Let me see what's up." I go to the porch early in the morning. Sun's out.
Nice and chilly.
Mm-hmm. And I look at the betta fish and from a distance I'm like, oh, he's good. He's still breathing. And what I failed to notice was there was a bubble right in front of the betta fish. And that's why I thought, he's still breathing. I get closer. As I get closer, I see the surface of the water. It's kind of like got cracks in it. Mm. And I'm like, oh no.
Wait a second.
It's ice.
Yeah.
And so,
wow, holy crap. Yeah, because we'd be having some wind chills during the winter during that time.
I can save him. It's probably not fully frozen because I see this bubble in front of him. I guess he just died breathing. But I get a butter knife from the kitchen. And I'm trying to chip away at the ice to get to the betta fish to save him.
Wait, how are you doing it again?
I'm chipping away at this ice. I'm trying to get the betta fish. Yeah. To like get him, and I had to give up because it was so frozen.
It was solid, bro. Yo, at that point,
solid,
you should have put it in the freezer.
Just dead.
Would have been funnier.
I was so sad though because it was my fish. Like it was our fish,
Like we weren't able to have pets, and that was our only thing.
We always failed at like taking care of them, but
always. But you were the most. Yeah, you were the best at it.
I got attached, so. So I cried so much, and I was like,
"You guys had like a thing going on."
You know what I mean? Like that. So I was so sad about it. But that was the end of that betta fish. And then we had that betta fish that gave it cancer.
Yeah. And then the turtles, we had those
the turtles. Okay,
turtles.
So after,
and the little deck
we stuck to fish for a while. So
yeah,
we had a fish tank. I had some goldfish. Those died really quick. They don't last long. They're 10 cents
I barely even
each.
remember having goldfish. I feel like that's how much.
Yeah, because they died within a day. Like they just didn't last. Dang. But I remember getting a bunch of the catfish. And then we got the catfish and we got the little fish, the silver ones that are like really fast. And they have like the black tail. I vaguely
remember, but I remember the catfish for sure, bro. Because when we would clean it out, we put them in the bowl, and we had that grass in the patio. They're good to have with
turtles, but we had that one, and we had the frog that you could get for the fish tank.
Oh, we had to kind of have like a whole like thing going on.
Yeah, to have a little thing going on.
I think it's supposed to be on purpose so that like each one is doing
something.
And
bro. So we had those. Chilling. Yeah, we had those, and we would always go to the tank and just take them out and play with them. We would play with the catfish and it was so cool feeling the texture, and we would just hang out, and then once he looked like he wasn't breathing as well, we'd be like,
you would know because they start flopping. And they were strong, like they could jump out of the water because they would.
That's how some of them died.
Yeah, literally, that's how bad we were, bro.
They were
killing themselves, man.
There was like 3 fish that killed themselves. Where we were like, we went to the fishing. We're like, oh, let's go check it out. And then on the counter, dead.
I can't believe it. Like that, it would happen too often.
Yeah. So that's when eventually we got the cover so that they couldn't leave.
The screen.
But yeah, so we would take out these fish and then eventually they died really quick. No surprise. We just, on to the next. For Christmas every year, I would get from my grandpa, I would get $50. I knew that was like a solid. I knew I was gonna get $50 every year. It was too nice.
We didn't deserve it.
But
it was nice.
Every year I planned, I was like, what am I gonna buy? And it was always something live. Like I would buy fish. Or one year, because we would go to that pet land. You remember the pet land that we would go to where they left like a live turtle just walking around and stuff, and we'd see this giant turtle just walking around in the fish section. It was so cool. I went a few years ago and they still had it, which was dope. Dang. But
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so there they sold turtles. And it was $30 each one. I had $50. And I was like, okay.
Spot me at 10.
I got $50, and then I think I ended up saving the money from our grades.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, even for our grades, what do we even get? You remember?
We got $10 for each A. B's were like $7.
Yeah.
C's were, $5.
Should have been nothing.
And then F's were nothing.
yeah, F's were nothing.
But yeah, so I saved that money and got a 10-gallon tank. And got all the stuff like the rocks and whatnot, bought a turtle, and that was my first turtle that I ever had. And then eventually I saved up even more, ended up having another turtle.
Yeah, I remember there was 2 of them.
Yeah, I got 2 turtles.
It was cool because they had like a little buddy.
Yeah, because I wanted him to have a buddy. And we had like the lamp, like I got the whole thing. And
the heat lamp, yeah.
That was important. And so, because it was important for them to be able to like live, yeah. Which you're supposed to have 2 different bulbs. I learned that later, but yeah.
Oh, for like the season or something, or what? You remember?
One is to give them like vitamins and whatnot, because the actual sun gives them vitamins.
Okay.
So one's for that, and then the other one's for heat, so that they can
that makes sense.
Sunbathe or whatever.
Yeah.
And for the heat, but I took care of those turtles for I think it was like 6 months, which was a long amount of time for me to have a pet and for it to be alive. Like I was seeing that they were growing.
It was the most of like any pet we've probably had, right? Other than the beta fish. But those were, they were easy, but not easy enough for us.
Yeah.
But I think for like such a pet like that was a good amount of time.
It was a good amount of time. But, so my whole thing again with the stink of the tank.
Yeah, it's got that
I had to
smell.
clean the tank, but my mom didn't want me to do it by myself because I wasn't that strong, and that tank was heavy.
Huge, bro.
And my dad was like, "Oh, I'll help you," but then he was kind of like, "Nah, like I don't want to do it," and I was like, "I'll do it," but I really couldn't because I couldn't carry it by myself. Yeah. So, how old was I? Like 10? I think I was like 10 or 11.
Something like that.
And yeah, so we took out the tank. I had cleaned out pretty much everything, like put the hose in and whatnot and cleaned out everything. And it was set to go back in, but I was like, I have to fill it up and then I need help carrying it inside. And my mom was like, oh, it's getting too late, because I spent the whole day like cleaning and stuff. She's like, it's getting too late, your dad is tired, like just leave it outside, they're gonna be fine. And I was like, I don't want to leave my turtles outside, like what if something happens to them? Like I knew we had like 3 nests of snakes in the back that we knew were the animals that were alive in our house. And there were
so many raccoons that would like
raccoons
like
and
every
stuff.
Night when we'd be like hanging out in the backyard, just I don't know, when we had the trampoline, when we were just,
so I was like, what if something happens to them? And my mom was like, oh, tenemos una pieza de madera, like we'll just take this piece of wood and put it on top, it's heavy enough, like the raccoons won't be able to get it, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I don't want this. But then obviously I couldn't do much, and she was like, just leave it. If you take it inside, I'm gonna be pissed at you and beat you. So I was like, okay, I'll leave it outside, I guess. I had no choice. Next day, I go to my tank.
Guess what happened?
No turtles.
In the comments, guess what happened?
No turtles. Turtles gone. Yeah. And I was like devastated. Where are my turtles? Yeah, because you
really cared about those little turtles.
I cried so much. I was so sad about it because those were my pets,
Yeah.
And then
you named them. I swear you named them.
I forgot what I named them.
I almost feel like one was Jeff.
I don't know, but my names were really weird.
You did name them, though. I remember that.
Yeah. And so...
Oh, and the tank was flipped over, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, the piece of wood was taken off.
The little like plank thing.
And then there was just no turtles in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh gosh. So I mourned the death of my turtles, and months go by. It's summertime. That happened around the winter. It's summertime. I'm throwing a football around with you.
Yeah. But I remember I picked it up.
Yeah, and
as I look, I'm like, oh, brother, what is that?
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, I think the turtles are here, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy, like they made it
because I saw the shell.
Yeah,
and it looked good. Yeah, like it didn't look like it was like, man, I was like, yo, that's a good quality shell. It's got to be alive. Yeah, and I picked it up, and I'll never forget that as soon as I picked it up, and I'm like, wait a second, and it's like dark. And bitch, this fucking beetle swarms out.
I remember seeing it.
Like real, like, oh my god. And that and me, like, I mean, I already get jump scared now. Like, bro, back then as a little kid after I got stung, which we'll talk about at some point. Yeah. Jeez, like that scared me so much. But the point is, the turtle was dead.
It was dead. And the other one, I never saw the shell.
Yeah,
but
that one we didn't find. It probably ate it.
Gosh, it was so sad.
But wasn't it crazy we even found that? You know what? That was your closure.
That was my closure, though. That was the closure because I knew that they were dead for real.
Yeah, we didn't know if they ran off somewhere. I feel like mom probably said some stuff like that, like, "Oh,
yeah,
they probably went out themselves." Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, dead, wasted."
Jeez. It was terrible. Mm-hmm. And then we had the most exotic pet that we've had, other than growing up, we had chickens.
We had two exotic pets.
We had Princess was the first chicken that we ever had that passed away. Yo. And then the other two, J-Lo and Goldilocks. Dang. But Goldilocks, Linda named Mark Anthony.
Okay.
For me, it was Goldilocks. I was like, okay, J-Lo and Goldilocks, but to Linda, it was Mark Anthony. And, those are the two chickens that we had for a while. Linda was the only one cleaning the cage, and she's allergic, so it became a problem. And then we had to give them away, weird. But they didn't die. Okay. So that was a good like story there. Where we didn't kill those.
No, because there's a lot of stories with a lot of dead pets. Yeah, and like weird pets though. It's never normal. Yeah. You know what? Thank God it wasn't a dog.
That would have been really hard.
That would have been really hard. I think we would have been like,
I don't see a dog.
I see it being because they're kind of more like,
in our hands.
They're like, yeah, I don't see a dog.
Then again, you never know. In that time, I don't know.
But you know what I think we should end it with is the because I know you said exotic, but the two exotics that we had. We had two exotics.
I remember one of them. I don't know what the other one was.
I'm gonna say one, and then we'll see because you might be thinking of the other or the same. But I know there was two.
I'm probably thinking of the same.
I'm thinking of the squirrel.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay, so I'll get to the second one.
What's the other one?
No, you know the second one.
I can't remember.
We'll get to it. The first one, the squirrel, and the second one I only have a small story, but. Anyways, the squirrel. Basically, after Hurricane, which one was it? I don't know if you remember
Hurricane,
better than I do.
Was it Charlie?
I don't know. Maybe it was the bad one, bro.
Yeah, it was Charlie.
It was the one where like there was trees knocked down fully everywhere.
That was Charlie, bro.
And like everyone in the neighborhood was like helping each other out. Everyone was outside because there was no power for like so long. Yeah. I just remember everything was actually messed up for the first time. That tree hit the house, but like it didn't go in the house. It just right on like dented just the side of the roof. Yep. Like just the edge part, which like thank God, because that was right where your guys' room was. Mm-hmm. The big one. Yeah. So yeah, we had that squirrel.
And that we found.
Did we find it or somebody?
We found it in the backyard. Or
no. Somebody gave it. It was from your friend.
It was the block behind.
Wasn't it your friend? Yeah, there was somebody who had a little squirrel in a box.
We were walking around, and they had the squirrel, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I remember the person's house too."
Dude, I wonder if we can find the photo.
I'm pretty sure it was Ruben. You remember Ruben, the kid, the short kid, his family? I'm pretty sure.
Ruben, like with the red van.
Yes.
I know exactly what
his family. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was his family. One of them had found the squirrel, and they were like, "We don't know what to do with it, or whatever. We can give it to."
Just so random,
like a because
it was small
place or whatever. Do you guys want it? They were like, "Do you guys want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Why not? Of course I want it." And so we took it. This squirrel, oh my gosh, I love this squirrel. I would chop up little pieces of apple and cubes and stuff and feed it, and it would eat it from my hands. And it was such a beautiful experience. Oh gosh.
Out of all the pets that like mom said we couldn't have, and like a squirrel was a yes.
It was a yes.
Like she was okay with it.
The first time my mom was ever like, yes.
A squirrel. It could have been a rabbit and we didn't even know. That thing didn't have shots.
Yeah, and it would just like ride us like a tree.
Bro.
And but it was really, you remember.
No, yeah, but it was really loving. It was actually really loving. Like it would like nuzzle up and everything. Like bro, it would go on our head and it would be like that. And it would like sleep on us and stuff. Like it was so cool. I would never do that now. Like that freaks me out.
Yeah. Well, I caught a squirrel in the neighborhood. Remember?
What do you mean? Where? When?
In the parking lot, there was a squirrel that had gotten hit by a tree, and it was on the floor when they were detailing my car. And then
right here.
Yes, in this neighborhood.
I don't even remember. Bro.
Yeah, it was on the floor and it hurt himself.
Oh my God.
I have a photo of him somewhere.
Okay.
But I could find it. I could find it, and then
if we find it, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
If not, then too bad.
And the guy was looking at me. He's like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna die there." And I was like, "Oh heck no!" And I literally grabbed it. He was like, "Are you crazy?" And I just grabbed the squirrel, and I'm like,
"Yo, it could have attacked."
Yeah, it could have. It really could have. Later, it tried to, but it was like God. Later it tried to, but it was.
Was
fine.
that in the house?
I didn't bring. I mean, I did bring it in the house for a little bit, but you were upstairs working.
What the heck? I never knew about this.
Yeah, it was a few months ago.
I didn't know about it.
But yeah, so. This one is it was such a great pet. Like I love that squirrel so much. That squirrel was really nice, and we were little kids. But it got to the point where even though we were taking care of it and stuff, it needed to be set free. Like we had already rehabilitated it; it was ready to go into the wilderness. But then it got accommodated with the fact that like we were taking care of it and being around humans and stuff, so we didn't know how to set it free in the wild safely. So Linda's best friend at the time, Heather Wilson.
Yeah, I remember.
Her mom was the one that was like, "Oh, I can give it to the people or whatever, the animal control, wherever it was supposed to go specifically." So we ended up giving it to them in a box, so that way it can be set free safely. So that was another good story. Now the other exotic pet, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so the second exotic pet was the bird. It's a short story, but the bird. We had a little bird at one point. It was like a parrot or cockatoo.
I remember the cockatoo, but I know
that there was a bigger bird. It wasn't just like the little like parakeets. It was.
We had an actual parrot, but when we were like, I vaguely remember it because I remember it like being set free in the backyard.
All I know, is the pictures that we have. With it that mom has. See, there's like a lot of pictures that we have that Mary has, and there's some pictures we got to get because I want to get those pictures so we can like make stories from it and stuff. It would be super cool for everybody to see. But yeah, these certain pictures I don't know if we'll be able to find right now. Yeah, but we did have the cockatoo, which was cool. I loved that bird, but cool. I didn't think it was that exotic. I feel like that's like standard for us, is what I'm saying. For us, because like for us, we didn't have anything. So
that's true.
So like we had fish,
but somehow we had it all.
So far it was a beta fish, or a fish, and then the freaking turtles. And
there was a snapping turtle that I had caught.
Parakeet. Thomas caught one too with Callie.
Oh my gosh! But I took the snapping turtle. I wanted to keep it. And I took it to the backyard. We had a kiddie pool. Was that with Dad? Because
I feel like that wasn't. I almost feel like it was.
It was by myself, and it was a big mistake because I'd taken the kiddie pool and I put it inside. I put a little bit of water, and I put it inside the kiddie pool, and I was like, "Yay! I got a snapping turtle.
I made you a little home."
You know. It started pooping out of defense, like self-defense.
Oh yeah.
The whole pool got filled with poop water, and it just kept pooping everywhere, and it was all over the concrete. And then I had to take the hose and spray it all out.
You cleansed it,
and and then I had to get the turtle out.
Yeah.
So I had to grab.
How big was it?
It was like this big of a turtle. It was a full-size turtle.
I rember we'd always pick up turtles. We see them on the side of the road because we lived right next to a river. Like, no, we didn't live next to a river.
Ikanahachi River,
I wasn't gonna say the name, but I'm like, I don't know. It's Blanchard Park, but like that, the Econ River. Yeah. Literally would be. It's like right next to our house, like behind mom's, where that fence is, like the cul-de-sac. So, yeah, we would just pick up turtles all the time. Like if we saw them on the side of the road, because it was always on that road on 50 or on Buck even.
Yeah, but that was the last time I picked up a turtle.
Yeah, man.
Because it was messy and disgusting.
Yeah. It wasn't our, like, having pets wasn't our, basically.
It wasn't our thing.
Yeah, it wasn't our thing. All in all, that's kind of the lesson here. But we want to get a dog.
We do, but we're not ready.
We're not ready.
I'm not ready at all.
You're not ready. We're not ready.
Yeah, I think I'd have to be like settled down.
We'd have to be like
maybe married.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like it's better when you have kids to have a pet, because then hopefully they take care of it. We still won't be taking care of it.
That's so bad. No, I feel like I would. I feel like I would.
No, I think it's still also good to have a pet anyways, like to have a dog, especially a dog or a cat as a companion, and to have it while you're still an adult, because I also think it is like a responsibility thing. Yeah. Responsibility.
I feel like before I have a kid, I want to have a dog so that
you get prepared a little bit.
I get a little bit prepared.
It's a small prepared.
Even though I've done other things to prepare with actual human children.
Yeah.
You know? For when I get to that point, I really have. I learned how to change diapers this year.
Bro, if anything, you're ready. Like, I'm going to be screwed.
I don't know about ready. I feel like I need to have a dog first.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because then it's 24/7.
It's 24/7. Mm-hmm. It's way different.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So,
well,
thank you guys for.
Thank you guys. It was a little different, this one.
A little different.
But hopefully still entertaining. We have a lot of plans, though. We got all the plans. I know that this is going to be kind of like a fine wine. You know, the longer we go, the more that we come out with these episodes, the more natural it is, the more entertaining and, you know, just easy it will be. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
honestly,
know what else to,
we already have conversations like this.
Yeah,
so
we
it's
really
like,
do. I think it's
different.
It's all about getting
also,
in that zone.
Can I tell you about the lizard that's on the ceiling? Do you think that's the one from my toilet?
Yo. Oh my god!
Don't know how.
What the heck? This is actually real.
I don't know if anyone is paranoid. I'm gonna put a video take a picture of it so we can post it.
Yeah,
like,
I'll do a picture. That way it's just easier.
I've been staring at this. I don't know if you've seen me look up, but I've literally looked at this because the other day, I don't know if anyone has this paranoia when they go to the bathroom of like looking in just in case a snake's in there or whatever's in there. I'm assuming something's gonna go into my butthole. Like every time I go to the bathroom.
Even if, like, dude, I always think honestly of a hand. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know. I never think about a hand.
I just think of like a horror movie, and I think of like a hand going like going right in there. I'm like, oh my god.
No, but I'm paranoid that there's something in there. So like every time I go to the bathroom, I look, but there's nothing ever there. Years later, it was last week.
Yeah, Mary sends me a text.
Early in the morning, I go to the bathroom. Before I sit down, I look in the toilet per usual, and I see a lizard. I took a picture of it, so I'll put it
right behind the bidet. Right? It was like right behind the bidet on the side.
No, it was literally in the toilet bowl.
No, that's what I'm saying. In the bowl, like behind the little bidet part, like right on the side in the bowl.
You'll see. It's actually in the toilet.
It'll be in the photo. Yeah.
And when I looked at this thing, I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? Why is there a lizard in my toilet?
Just
Mind
randomly.
you, we live in a townhouse. It's the second floor.
Yeah.
How did this lizard get in the toilet?
We've seen lizards do all types of things around here.
We'll put that photo because
we'll put that photo too. Actually, should we put that photo? I'll pixelate it. Apparently, our house is a brothel.
Apparently, lizards like to have children right in front of our house. And the first time I saw it, I was like, Norman, you will not believe what I saw. Just going to the house, and I had to take a picture of it to prove it. Another day, we're walking.
Literally like 2 days later.
Yeah, we're walking.
2 days later,
they're going at it
probably
again.
the same freaking lizards in the same spot.
In the same spot by the window.
They probably smelled it.
The audacity.
This is it right here.
I'm like, the audacity of these lizards. Like, why are they doing this in front of us? It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful.
Getting thrills from it. You know what I mean?
So we'll put that.
We'll put that picture
We'll make sure to censor it for you. But it's what are the odds?
Yeah.
What are the odds?
What are the freaking odds,
here's
man?
that lizard, and I'm sure it came from my toilet because afterwards I thought of taking it out. I thought of taking it out of the toilet, but I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I fully went to the bathroom
Oh my god. Oh, no wonder we're so bad.
It was 5 a.m.
That's too much.
I'm tired. I don't have time. I'm starting to try to grab this lizard
about to get on
out
your
of the freaking toilet. I was like, you know what? What's a little pee gonna do to it?
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I flushed it, and it fully just stayed there.
Wow.
It's
Also,
fine.
it's still
it
okay.
Made it.
So it's still.
I left that toilet and it was still.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
And please
Appreciate
subscribe. Yeah, appreciate your time so much. Honestly, if you made it this far, thank you so much for getting through it with this. Because it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I said
share.
That a lot. Share, comment. Let us know what you want to do.
Subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah, we want you guys to be a part of the family.
When you're here.
Your family. Now we're going to get copyrighted.
Yeah, we're going to copyright. So erase that. When you're
screw it,
here.
I'm throwing it in there. When you're here, you're
a part of us. Mary and Norman's
podcast. All right, guys.
All right.
We'll see you later. Peace.